What if I told you the red sauce on your fries started as a fishy brown liquid in ancient China? The story of ketchup is one of the wildest journeys in food history. The word ketchup comes from the Chinese word ke-tsiap, a fermented fish brine used by sailors in the 17th century. It was thin, brown, and smelled like the sea. British sailors discovered ke-tsiap during trade routes to Southeast Asia. They brought jars of it back to England, where it became an exotic luxury for the wealthy. English cooks tried to recreate ke-tsiap, but could not get the fishy taste right. They experimented with walnuts, mushrooms, and even oysters as substitutes. By the 1700s, ketchup in England was made from mushrooms, not tomatoes. Mushroom ketchup was thin, dark, and used more like soy sauce than the ketchup we know. English colonists brought mushroom ketchup recipes to America in the 1700s. American cooks continued making it from walnuts, mushrooms, and whatever was available. The tomato was a late addition to ketchup because most Americans believed tomatoes were poisonous. Tomatoes belong to the nightshade family, which includes deadly plants. In 1812, a Philadelphia scientist named James Mease published the first tomato-based ketchup recipe. He called tomatoes love apples and claimed they had healing powers. Mease's recipe was still very different from modern ketchup. It included anchovies, shallots, and spices. It was more like a spicy fish sauce than the sweet tomato ketchup we know. In 1834, Dr. John Cook Bennett added tomatoes to ketchup and claimed it could cure diarrhea, rheumatism, and even prevent cholera. People actually bought it as medicine. Tomato ketchup was sold in pharmacies as a patent medicine. People drank it by the spoonful hoping to cure their ailments. It tasted terrible, but they believed it worked. After the Civil War, food companies began mass-producing tomato ketchup. Most early ketchups were thin, watery, and full of coal tar and preservatives to keep them red. In 1876, Henry Heinz entered the ketchup business. He used ripe red tomatoes, vinegar, and natural spices. He refused to use coal tar or artificial preservatives. Heinz insisted on using a clear glass bottle so customers could see the bright red color inside. Most other ketchup brands used dark bottles to hide the brownish-red color. The clear bottle was risky. If the ketchup looked bad, people would see it. But Heinz was so confident in his recipe that he bet the entire company on that glass bottle. Heinz ketchup became famous for its thick consistency. While competitors poured like water, Heinz ketchup slowly flowed out of the bottle. That thickness became a sign of quality. The famous Heinz 57 varieties slogan was actually wrong. Heinz had over 60 products at the time, but he picked 57 because he liked the sound of it. By 1900, Heinz was selling 5 million bottles of ketchup every year. His company became the largest ketchup manufacturer in the world, a position it still holds today. In 1919, the FDA declared that ketchup must be made only from tomatoes. Companies could no longer use apples, pumpkins, or other fillers to stretch their product. During the Great Depression, ketchup became a cheap way to add flavor to boring meals. Families ate ketchup sandwiches and ketchup soup to stretch their budgets. During World War II, ketchup was included in military rations. American soldiers spread it on everything, from eggs to steak, and developed a lifelong love for the red sauce. By the 1950s, ketchup had become a permanent fixture on every American diner table. Hamburgers, hot dogs, and French fries were all served with a side of ketchup. In 1965, Heinz released a single-use ketchup packet. It was a tiny pouch that you could tear open and squeeze. This changed how fast food restaurants served ketchup forever. In the 1970s, Heinz tried to sell green ketchup and purple ketchup. Kids loved the colors, but adults hated them. The colored ketchup experiment quietly disappeared. In 1991, Heinz introduced the upside-down squeeze bottle. Finally, no more shaking and banging to get ketchup out. It was a revolution in condiment delivery. Today, Americans consume over 700 million pounds of ketchup every single year. That is about 5 pounds for every man, woman, and child in the country. A single American eats roughly 71 pounds of ketchup in their lifetime. That is enough to fill a bathtub more than 3 times over. In 2018, Heinz introduced ketchup infused with hot sauce called Heinz Hot. It was the first major ketchup innovation in decades and sold millions of bottles. From ancient Chinese fish sauce to the red bottle on your table, ketchup has traveled across continents, survived wars, and overcome poison scares to become the world's favorite condiment. If this history blew your mind, hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible food stories every week. The story of ketchup is just the beginning.